Haven't already, look at number 7 and determine based off of the degree and in behavior, or if it's positive or negative, match it with the equation that you think it's going to go with. So we know that the first one, is this first one even or odd? This graph, is that even or odd? Even. And is it positive or negative? Positive. So we know for A, we're looking for an equation that's even and positive. All right, so which one of these is even and positive? If I were to number these 1, 2, 3, 4, which number would you choose that is even and positive? 3. Does everybody see that? Because 2 is even and is also positive. That's how I know that the answer for that equation would be A. All right, Charles, what do you think about B? What kind of graph is it? Even, odd, or positive, negative? Did you say even, negative? All right, so which one would you match it with? Yep. Because 6 is even, and that first number is negative. So this would be graph B. All right, next one. Johan, for C, what would you say? Even or odd? Odd. All right, I agree. Would you say it's positive or negative? Positive. This arrow on the side tells you if it's positive or negative. So it's going up on the right, which means it's positive. So what equation would you match it with? 2 or 4? Which one of those is even and positive? Well, 4 has a negative right here. So it's 2. So this one would be C. The last one is odd, and notice how the right side goes down. So this is odd and negative, so that's why that would be D. All right, so now let's go back and look at graph D. And it wants us to write an equation for that graph. So the first thing we need to do, so for number 6, we're talking about this graph. All right, so show me with your fingers. Let me zoom in. How many times does that cross through the x-axis? All right, so the first thing you should do on that blank is make 3 parentheses. Remember, you flip the sign when you go on the factor. So, Otanel, what would you put in the parentheses for this first one? It's crossing through the x-axis at -3. So what would you put in the parentheses? What'd you say? +3. You flip the sign. So if it's negative here, when you bring it down here, we got to flip it to a positive. So make sure you write that. We flip the sign. That's really important when you take your test tomorrow. So Chris, what do you think for the second one? +2. Yep, +2. And then Nelson, what would you say for the last one? -1. Good job. Now the last thing we have to do, because this is odd and negative, is just put a negative sign in the front, or a -1. We only have to do that when it's a negative graph. So again, the test tomorrow, we're basically going through the test. You're going to see questions like this. Do you need me to re-explain anything? Yes, Charles? Right. If it's positive, we don't have to put anything in the front. But if it's negative, if the right arrow goes down, put a negative sign, a -1, a -2, a negative number, any negative number in the front. I just picked -1. All right. Now let's look at 8. Long division. I have the steps still up here. So let's set it up. First of all, it says write it in factor form. So I already know one of my factors is x minus 5. And now we're going to do long division to find the second factor. So x minus 5 divided into 3x squared minus 16x plus 5. So we start off, we divide the first terms. So take 3x squared and divide it by x. What do we get when we do that? 3x. Put that on the roof. Now you're going to take that 3x and multiply it by x minus 5. So go ahead and do that. Take the 3x and multiply it by x minus 5. And that should give you 3x squared minus 15x. Before we add these two columns together, you have to flip the sign. Make this one negative because it was positive. Make the second term positive because that one was negative. Now we're ready to add and repeat. Negative 16 plus 15 would be negative 1x. Bring down the plus 5 and repeat the process one more time. You only have to do this rotation twice. So we're going to take the negative 1x and we're going to divide it by x. That gives me a negative 1. I'm going to put that on the roof. Then I'm going to take that and multiply it by x minus 5. Got to give myself some more space because I'm writing kind of big on this iPad. Let me temporarily take off this one. Okay, so when we do that, we distribute, we get negative x plus 5. But I have to flip the sign, so it's going to become positive x minus 5. So I have my remainder of 0. And whatever is on the roof, that is your second factor. Excuse me. So this is my first factor, which we already wrote down here. This would be my second factor. And that is your two factors. Nope, we don't have to set them equal to 0. We are done. All we have to do is write the equation. Any questions about number 8A? All right, I'm going to give you about 2 minutes. I want you to try to do part B by yourself because you have to be able to do this on your own. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to just try. I'll give you about 3 minutes. And I just want you to try to do part B by yourself. dividing it by 2x. So it should be 2x squared divided by 2x over here. The first term and the first term. 2x. So you have to set this one up the same way we set that one up. Oh dang, that was a fast 3 minutes. Okay. How many of you all got x plus 7 on the roof? All right, I'm going to show my work. Let you all look at that. The purpose of you trying on your own is to actually try. Like, if you just sit there for 3 minutes and you don't attempt to do it by yourself, you really are hurting yourself, not me. Because you have to do this by yourself tomorrow. So I started off by dividing my first terms, which was 2x squared by 2x. So I divided 2x squared by 2x, and I got x. I put that on the roof. Then I took that x and I multiplied it by 2x plus 3. And that gave me 2x squared plus 3x. And if you bring it over here, notice I did a sign change for both. When you add, that's 14x plus 21. Then over here, I did it one more time. 14x divided by 2x is 7. I put that on the roof. I took the 7 times 2x plus 3. 7 times 2x is 14x. 7 times 3 is 21. When I bring it over here, I change, and I got a 0. That is long division. All right, last page. Let's go to the back. Look at question 10. So when you are identifying, this is a 1-point question tomorrow. This is what you're going to do. You're going to look for a sign change in y. So you're going to look at the y, figure out when does it change signs. So notice that we started with a negative, and then it flipped to a positive. So this is where I had my sign change. But what you're going to list is the x values where that happens. You're going to tell me at what x values when the y changes. Sign. So notice that right here, it changed from a negative to a positive. What would be my x values? 0 and 1 right here. That's what you're going to give me, the 0 and the 1. The last one, we have a positive, but this one must have 2 sign changes, which is why we have 2. We have positive, and then, we become negative. So let me come over here. That would be between 3 and 4. And then if I keep going down, it's negative to a positive. And that would be between 5 and 6. That is where we are changing the sign. Nope. I was just making sure, we all hopefully understand. Yes.
How many points is 8 going to be?
I have to go back and look. I don't know. All right, number 11. Oh, they did not give us a lot of space. Okay, so it's one term, so we have to do Long division, I'm just going to set it up. So I have my 20x to the 7 minus 8x to the 4th plus 6x to the 3rd. I'm dividing each one of those terms separately by 2x to the 3rd. So you're dividing the numbers and subtracting the powers. So the first one, what is 20 divided by 2? 20 divided by 2 is 10. And then what do you get when you subtract? 7 minus 3. What's 7 minus 3? Because I'm subtracting my powers, the 7 and the 3. 7 minus 3 would be x to the 4th. That would be my first term. Bring down the subtraction sign. So, Michael, what would you write for the second one? What's 8 divided by 2? 4. And then when you subtract 4 minus 3, 1x. Yep. You don't have to put the 1, but we can just put it there. Bring the plus sign. So, Tanya, what's 6 divided by 2? 3. And for the last one, we don't have any x's because 3 minus 3 is 0. That would be your answer. What operation am I asking you to do for number 12? Is this addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? What's happening in between? What do you see in between the parentheses? Nothing, right? When you don't see something, what does that mean? Huh? No, if it was adding, it would be a plus sign. And if it was subtracting, it would be a minus sign. This is multiplication. So you have to multiply.
Do you want us to write it down?
What?
That's not on there.
That's not on your paper? Oh, do you have space? Go ahead and add it on there. So that, because this is on the test. So I'll give y'all a second to write that down. Thank you. I don't know why I wasn't on there, but maybe I copied it before it was done. All right, go ahead and set it up. So we have our 3x squared minus 6x plus 5. And we have our 4x plus 5. So in the first square, I have 4x times 3x squared. That would be 12. And now you're adding your powers. So how many x's do I have in this square? 3, yep. And then my next square, I have negative 6x times 24. So that would be a negative 24 x to the power of 2. right?
6
Where did I get I wrote 60. Wait, what, huh? Wait, what?
6 times 24.
Oh, that's what I said. I said it wrong. Okay, sorry. Negative 6x times 4x is negative 24x squared. My brain does that a lot. And then we have 5 times 4x, which would be a positive 20x. Now let's go to our bottom row. 3x squared times 5 would be 15x squared. Negative 6x times 5 would be a negative 30x. 5 times 5 is 25. All right, so we're ready to combine our like terms. So I only have one box with an x cubed. I'm going to add these together because they're both x squared. So with your calculator, take 15 plus negative 24. What is 15 plus negative 24? Negative 9. So I have negative or minus 9x to the power of 2. And then you're going to do the same thing with these two squares. We're going to add them together. That's a negative 30 plus 20. Go ahead and add that. Negative 30 plus 20. I borrowed $30. I paid you back 20. And what's that? Negative what? So we got negative 10x and then plus 25.